Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a legendary work that completely transcends the sport of fishing. We're talking about an absolute masterpiece by Takao Yaguchi that has been loved across generations.
So, I want to start by throwing a question your way. Why does a manga about fishing still manage to deeply move people who have literally never even held a fishing rod? You'd think you need to know all the technical jargon or casting techniques to get hooked, right? But no, and the reason is simple. This isn't just a log of fish caught. It's a profound, incredibly deep human drama. Here's what we're going to cover today. 1. Appeal for non-anglers. 2. Behind-the-scenes secrets. 3. Sanpei and Guyenshin's bond. 4. The Heisei revival drama. 5. Showa versus Heisei differences. And 6. Takao Yaguchi's lasting dream. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Appeal for non-anglers.
This series is absolutely packed with universal themes. We're talking stunning, breathtaking natural scenery, really complex family dynamics, characters overcoming physical disabilities, and even early environmental awareness. It gently invites everyone into its world through these relatable life struggles and beautiful art. You really don't need to care about fishing at all to be totally captivated by it.
To give you a real sense of this, there are incredibly touching stories in the series, like a blind boy who goes fishing with his guide dog Hachi, or a prisoner who is trying to rehabilitate, slowly regaining his humanity by connecting with nature through trout fishing. These are raw, emotional, front-and-center stories about people overcoming real hardship.
Section 2. Behind-the-scenes secrets.
Okay, this part is super fascinating. The origins of these iconic characters are incredibly down-to-earth. The protagonist, Mihira Sanpei, actually got his name from a mashup of a pro baseball player named Haruki Sanpei and the manga artist Sanpei Shirato. And his incredibly dependable mentor, Gyoshin, Yaguchi literally named him after a real-world angler he just happened to strike up a conversation with on a train. Talk about a chance encounter making manga history.
And the creator's own background is just as wild. Takao Yaguchi actually worked as a bank clerk for 12 long years before finally making his manga debut at age 30. He bravely walked away from a totally stable, secure career just to chase his absolute passion for drawing nature. And honestly, we are so lucky he made that leap.
Section 3. Sanpei and Yoshin's bond.
Let's look at the emotional core of the series, the incredibly deep bond between Mihira Sanpei and Gyoshin. They both carry really intense, tragic pasts. Sanpei lost his mother, and his father lost his memory in an accident and vanished. Gyoshin, on the flip side, lost his right eye as a kid due to an accident caused by his father, and he actually ran away from home just to spare his dad from the ongoing guilt. It's this shared pain of losing family that forged this beautiful surrogate father-son and mentor-student relationship between the two of them.
And their dynamic gets even richer when you look at the bigger picture. Gyoshin might look like a carefree wanderer, but get this, he's actually a qualified international lawyer and the heir to a massive corporate conglomerate. Yet he chooses to act as a father figure to Sanpei out in nature. Add in the eager young disciple Masaharu Kase, who practically worships Sanpei as a master, and you've got this incredibly warm, complex web of characters that just gives the story so much heart.
Section 4. The Heisei revival drama.
The publication history of this series is a total roller coaster. The original Showa-era run started in 1973 and wrapped up a decade later in 1983, mostly because the author wanted to explore some different themes. But flash forward almost 20 years to a 30th anniversary party in the year 2000. The fans poured out so much intense love begging to see these characters again that it actually moved Yaguchi to launch a miraculous Heisei-era revival in 2001. Now, when it came back, some fans naturally wanted to see a grown-up adult Sanpei, but Yaguchi refused, and his reasoning was brilliant. He asked his audience, do you really want to see Sanpei as a stressed-out salaryman torn between work and family? And honestly, no way. Keeping Sanpei as an eternally youthful boy, forever shining out there in nature, was absolutely the right call to preserve the magic.
Section 5. Showa versus Heisei differences.
So how did the manga actually evolve across these eras? Well, the Showa version was a weekly serialization, meaning it had a super fast-paced narrative, often used fictional locations, and Gyoshin was more of an occasional sub-character who'd pop in and out. The Heisei version, though, totally different beast. These are published as full, original volumes based on intense research of real-world locations. Plus, Gyoshin, who promised to stay by Sanpei's side until his father's memory returned, became a constant, reassuring presence in every story.
The Heisei era really shines in its dedication to those real-world locations. We're talking deeply researched, full-volume stories about the supposedly extinct Kunamasu trout of Lake Tazawa, hunting giant trout all the way in Kamchatka, Russia, and exploring traditional octopus fishing on the Noto Peninsula. Taking the time to explore these actual places added an unbelievable layer of environmental realism and depth to the narrative.
Section 6. Takao Yaguchi's Lasting Dream.
Beyond the pages of the manga itself, Yaguchi left behind an incredible real-world legacy. He poured a ton of energy into establishing the Yokote Masuda Manga Museum in his home prefecture of Akita. Today, that museum preserves over 400,000 pieces of original manga artwork from various artists. He fought relentlessly to elevate manga from something once dismissed as trashy reading into a celebrated cultural art form, ensuring it's safeguarded for future generations.
To wrap things up, I want to leave you with this final thought. If you were to step out into nature today, what kind of beautiful world would you hope to find waiting for you? This series is ultimately a massive plea for environmental preservation, challenging us to protect the natural world that Mihira Sanpei loved so much. I really hope you take that message to heart next time you're out exploring. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. We'll see you next time.